Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another gamer log. Technically, that's what these are. Showing off books in my collection, comics, movies, so on and so forth throughout 2025. I'm wanting to kind of get these out there, talking with my hands, which I've never done here on the channel, by the way. Not very often, anyway. We're starting the series on art books. This time around, we're going through Street Fighter V, Xenosaga III, and Tomb Raider Limited Edition. So, we'll jump into Street Fighter and then Xenosaga, one note on the Xenosaga 3. I honestly don't remember where I got this. I may have gotten it as a donation to the channel to show off. I may have done a previous video about it, a thank you video. If I did, I'll link it down below. Either that or I got it while working at a local game shop. We couldn't take it in, but they decided just let it go, which happened pretty often, especially people that came in with things with deceased family members that were gamers. They were selling stuff off or getting rid of it either because it was too painful or because they were cleaning house and, it wasn't really their style. So that may have been where I got this. And of course, the Tomb Raider I've had for a long time, ever since the first one came out on PS3. And so we'll jump into that. Let's go ahead and jump into it and we'll take a look at this awesome, awesome art. Also, you may notice around the edges of the video, I got rid of the squares and the illumination going on. I'm trying to keep it basic. So hopefully it works out. Okay, so the first one we're going over in this video is Street Fighter V. This was really cool. This actually I saw with Lady Psylocke in a local shop. And obviously Street Fighter V is going to go over through design collections. I was a fan of 5. I thought it was pretty good. There's an introduction. This is Ryu. I kind of like what they did with his older bearded design. It looked pretty good, and of course it gives stats, measurements, weight. Chun-Li. Chun-Li is apparently 5'6". Weight secret, of course. She likes crepes, fruit, candy, dislikes imbecile crimes, and indecisive people. Skills shooting took 6th in the international competition. Pretty cool. And also known as the Leg Queen, so to speak. And then there's Cammy. But here is Ken, a man after my own heart, so to speak, and name. 5'9", 183 pounds. He likes skateboarding and pasta, dislikes umeboshi, pickled plum, and doesn't like soap opera, so he hates drama. He's head of the master's household, he's a martial artist, and he can cook pasta. Yep, that sounds just like me. Cammy, my all-time favorite character. One of them anyway. She's 5'5", 134 pounds, not ashamed to give her weight. Blood type B. She likes cats, that makes sense. Dislikes everything when she's in a bad mood. Member of the English Special Forces Unit, Delta Red, and she's knife throwing, so that makes sense. And of course there's bodily measurements, but we won't get into that. There is Dawson, and you can see he's 5'9", 106 pounds. Blood type O, curvy, curry meditation likes, dislikes sweets and meat. He's an ascetic monk, and he's sermons and selflessness. And of course there's Zangief, the Red Cyclone. I can't say that right. He's 7 foot tall. Good lord. 399 pounds, type A, wrestling, Cossack dance, projectiles like the Hadouken. He's a pro wrestler, and skills include vodka shots and resistance to cold. Well, he is Russian, so that makes sense. There's Vega. We're going to skip over Vega out of practice of principle. And there's M. Bison. He's 5'11", my height, although I'm like half an inch above him, 247. World domination, he dislikes weak people and incompetent underlings, and his skills include hypnosis. Then there's Nash. I didn't know a whole lot about Nash, but 6'1", 185 pounds. During Alpha 3, era Harrier piloting, psychology, currently assassination. Huh. Blood type 1 alive AB, currently unknown. Must be undead, that's interesting. There's Birdie. Birdie's a trim. He, I believe, used to hang out with Poison? It's freezing. Sorry, y'all. Okay. There's Armika, who is a very bubbly gal. And I believe she's a character that thrusts with her butt, which makes sense. There's Karen. Karen was included in the Capcom Fighting Evolution game, I believe. I didn't know where she came from, but yeah. I'm going to kind of speed this up. I apologize, y'all. There's Rashid. I think we've gone over some of the main characters. More Rashid. There's Fang. Fang tripped me out. I am not a fan, most of his character design. He's 6'11", 7 foot when standing straight, so he hunches. There's more on Fang. Surprised I didn't put more about the other characters. There's Laura. Don't know much about her, but you can read up here on the channel if you want to pause it. There's more Laura. There's McCallie. I'm not entirely sure about him either. So I love the Street Fighter lore, but I'm not exactly caught up on anything post Alpha, except for Marvel vs. Capcom. I still need to complete this story, but here's some level designs. It's really cool. I think they'll continue that. Black and white sketches, pencil. And that would be it on that part. So again, this was a really cool find. I got it for like $5. I figured why not? It might have been a part of a collector's edition, but it's a really cool part of my collection. Okay, so next up we have Xenosaga 3. Now, if you don't know Xenosaga, and you're not an RPG fan, Xenosaga is one of my favorite trilogies ever. It did expand into another couple of universes. There was some crossovers, but it is a standalone RPG that I loved because it took the premise of cutscenes back in the day, PS2, some PS3, PlayStation. You would have gameplay and then theatric scenes. RPGs were famous for long-winded ones, but I loved them. I loved watching them. It was like a mini movie, and RPGs have always been an interactive novel to me, which is why I love them. But Xenosaga 3 is one of the very much harder to find games. I've had it a couple of times in my life. Both times, oh, I just realized this is, okay, it's awkward, but the hair and the character are embossed. That's really cool. Um, but the last time I had it was defective. I had to take it back, and it didn't work very well. So, um, yeah. And then the next time, I'm sorry, that was not the last time. The time after that, I ended up having to sell it for financial means, which when you live paycheck to paycheck can happen. But I'm not here to get on that soapbox. So, anyway, let's go ahead and dive into Xenosaga 3. Cool character design. What I really like about Cosmos character design here, and that's her name. There's obviously more skin being shown than normal, but she's evolved throughout the series, so the character design does as well. There's Shion. Shion is the main character, the designer of Cosmos. There's obviously a lot of female character development going on through the series, as you see it. Her voice actor, oh, this also gives their mentions and background dimensions like height, weight. It's really cool. Um, Her voice actor does more than a few RPG voices, and I believe she did Yuna in Final Fantasy X and X-2. This is Cosmos, a very badass character, underrated in my opinion. Or Cosmos design, and there's Momo. Momo's really cool. She's an android, so to speak. She's protected by Ziggy, who rescued her, but he was meant to assassinate her, but he changed his ways. This is Chaos. Chaos is a trippy character. He seems to be like a character of fate, able to wield certain powers, but he's also an android technically. Junior here reminds me of Death the Kid from Soul Eater, but obviously Junior, I believe, was around longer than Death the Kid. So that's really cool. The character anyway. Jin Uzuki, this is Shion's brother. They've never really seen eye to eye, but they do help each other throughout the series. I believe you can fight with him at some point. Here is Kanan and Miyuki. They are, I believe, research colleagues with Shion. And later they develop into something else, but I don't entirely remember. There is Alan Ridgely and Marion Shelley. Marion Shelley, I believe, help Junior. There's going to be a lot of believing in this video. And Alan Ridgely, Alan um, is a colleague of Shion's, but he works in a different department, but he's also kind of a dick. There's Doctus, Pellegrini, Margulis. Margulis is a character throughout the series, so is Pellegrini. I don't remember Doctus. She may be new. Sellers, Dimitri, Voyager. Voyager's a trip, excuse me. Voyager acts as like kind of a dark omen, if I remember right. It's been a while on 3. I've mostly played through 1 and 2 since I have them. This is T. Ellis. This I don't remember. Obviously, this seemed like a darker design compared to Cosmos. So there's Cosmos and Telos, or T. Ellis. So yeah, I'll have to replay through it. This does have a little bit of water damage, I just realized. But not too much. There's Nephilim and Abel. Nephilim, I believe, acts as a part of Cosmos. So that's cool. Here is E.S. Levi. I'm going to go through quickly some of the designs. These are some of the machinas that they use throughout battle. And they're very powerful, but they can die just like the characters. E.S. Dinah, E.S. Asher. It's a very cool art design. You got various art throughout. This does have some water damage. That's a bummer. I didn't realize that. It's been a while since I opened this. This would be some of the Japanese designs from the original game? No, from 3. Sorry. This is Telos. Yeah, it's Telos design. And some Cosmos in there. Well, basically the same character, same design. Looks like you've got some underwear shots here. Bikinis as well. That's interesting. And I think that's their beach wear. I know in the first one you can go to the beach. You see Shion in a bikini. This is different maps being laid out. And here's some character collage. So that is Xenosaga 3. I took a little bit longer than I wanted to on it, but it was worth it. And then we'll be back with the Tomb Raider, which I'm going to kind of speed through it. I apologize, but I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible, but provide as much detail and show detail as much as possible in that amount of time. Okay, let me throw out a quick apology. You may see a jump. Technical difficulties. So this is Tomb Raider Limited Edition. I believe this is both a strategy guide and an art book. Yeah, Survivor is Born. So this is a strategy guide and an art book. We'll flip through it real quick. Let's set it down if y'all don't mind. Strategy. This was a great game. I loved it. It's what really kind of got me into the Tomb Raider series, to be honest. I played some of the old school ones, but this is the one that really grabbed me. You've got different skill trees branching out. And I apologize, it's laying flat, but my arthritis is acting up. In my hands, it's psoriatic arthritis. Which is making it hard to control a controller nowadays, which is not fun. So you had an assortment of characters in this. You had Laura, you had Sam, you had Roth, who was a childhood mentor of Laura's and a good friend. And you have Jonah, who appears throughout the entire trilogy. Alex wanted this shirt. That is a fantastic shirt. Escape. Reyes Whitman, who is a total dick. And you have Matthias, who shows up in the movie too. And then there's Grim. Grim is a badass. He's really cool. And of course you have enemies. Quick playthrough. In Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, I believe, you can actually get a survivor's shield. Which is from Tomb Raider, like a riot shield. Bit of an item crossover, so it's really cool. Once we get to the art, I'll kind of slow things down a bit, but just kind of showing it off. I'm also getting pretty smooth at this. What do you know? Kind of speed it up a bit. I'm going to try to avoid the ending. The ending is fantastic, although they didn't stick with one element of it, which kind of disappointed me. You could, I'm not going to give away except for one small detail. Near the end, you see her dual wielding her pistols, which is very iconic. But they did not stick with that in the later games, which is very disappointing. And gone missing. Kind of speed up a bit. Sorry about the camera. Going back in. Rescue Sam. And we get to collectibles. Okay. So this is relics, just things you can collect. Contributes to trophy on PlayStation. The camera's going in and out. I'm really sorry, it's kind of annoying. Mountain Village, GPS caches. The caches are really cool. Like a hunting type thing. I don't know if anybody's ever done geocaching in real life. It was kind of a thing for a while. I don't know if it still is. But it was really cool. And it's freezing. There we go. So, we're getting to different elements, traps. This is stats. Weapons, upgrades. Loadout skills. I wonder if I'm wrong on this. Was there no art included? Huh. I think I might have had the wrong book in mind, but still, it's really cool. Here's extras, game completion. Oh, here's some concept art. A little bit, anyway. Character models. Lara's journals. Lara's journals are really cool. It kind of takes her into talking about certain things in like counseling sessions and whatnot. And get your official Tomb Raider products from Brady Games. Dude, there's an interactive map app. No, that. I wonder if that thing's still live. You know what? Let me see. Let's see. Tour guide. Developed for Apple and Android. Let's see if that's still available. Real quick. This was kind of lacking art, at least I could do. It is not, which is sad. I'll have to look, but searching Tomb Raider map app, it is not showing up. Mostly games. I don't think I can get that to focus anymore, but that's crazy. Well, it was back in 2013, so there's no telling. But anyway, there's the back. There's the front. One of my all-time favorite games, right along there with Bioshock Infinite, which I believe I have the art book for, so we'll go over that in a later vlog. Well, that's it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize there wasn't much art, but at least you got to see a limited edition strategy guide, which is unplanned, but still kind of cool. Stay safe, stay sane, remember you're awesome, never let the world tell you otherwise, and I will see you next time. And I apologize for the length of this video, but it was a very cool experience. See ya.